Promoted to orange belt beside it, Nathan. Promoted to orange belt beside it, William. Carolina, you just decided that you want to stay. So yeah, give me that. Promoted to orange belt beside it, Dawson. Promoted to orange belt beside it, Mr. Dakota. Because I'm colorblind, but I see some color in there. Yeah. Congratulations, sir. Promoted to orange belt beside it, Mr. Lucas. Promoted to orange belt beside it, Mr. Jaden. Come in. Congratulations, sir. Wait, Jaden, stay right here. So I think Jaden, turn around for a second. Didn't you start as a tiger? He was like this small when he first came, and now he's outgrown me, which is not saying too much, but he's outgrown me. So this goes to show that even though he wasn't here for those years, because he was a tiger, then he went on and did other things, and then he came back as a teenager. Goes to show that you're never too old to continue training. Not that he's old, he's almost my age, but he's almost 21. Almost 21. Alright, so you tigers, you can be as tall as him one day. That's what I'm trying to get at. Alright. Maybe even you, Eli, you can be his height. Yeah. Mrs. Day was trying to find that one. But it went right over her head. Promoted to orange belt beside it, Miss Hannah. Promoted to tiger level orange belt, Isaiah. Maybe you'll be as tall as Jamie too. Kenya. Congratulations, sir. Look at you hit that couple fall out. Promoted to tiger level orange belt, Mr. Wayne. Promoted to yellow belt, Miss Caroline. Congratulations, man. Did you color your hair too?
No.
Oh, okay. Promoted to yellow belt, Mr. Christian. That's what I said. Basic fit. Yeah. Congratulations, sir. Promoted to yellow belt, Miss Kennedy. Promoted to yellow belt, Mr. Logan. Promoted to yellow belt, Mr. Remy. Promoted to yellow belt, Miss Brianna. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Eli Gunter. I was getting all excited. Yeah. Promoted. It's okay. Just sit right there. Nobody noticed. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Eli. Yes. Yeah. Congratulations. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Evan. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Levi. Promoted to camo belt, Miss Anna. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Jameson. Promoted to camo belt, Miss Avery. It's like time and format. You gotta go the long way to get some fun. Yeah. Congratulations. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Sawyer. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Caden. Promoted to camo belt, Miss Faith. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. Steven. Promoted to camo belt, Mr. John. Oh, this is lion level camo belt. Like running through the jungle lion. Promoted to green belt, Mr. Owen. Promoted to green belt, Mr. Baylor. Promoted to green belt, Mr. Vincent. Promoted to purple belt, Mr. Santiago. Promoted to purple belt, Miss Fatima. Promoted to purple belt, Mr. Grant. Promoted to blue belt, Miss Jalen. Hey guys. Hey Eli. Promoted to brown belt recommended, Miss Angelique. Promoted to brown belt recommended, Mr. Hayden. Promoted to brown belt decided, Mr. Jerry. Promoted to red belt recommended, Mr. Eli. Yep. Yeah. Promoted to red belt recommended, Mr. Jules. Hey, so I just want to explain, when you get to brown belt, for brown belt you normally have two testings, a recommended level, which is without a stripe, and then you have a decided level where you get the stripe. Red belt is the same thing, so you have two levels of red belt, and then you test for black belt recommended, then you test for first degree black belt. The only way you can get a full rate is if you get a perfect score. I think I've seen like 4, maybe 5 people in my entire career of doing this and get a full rate at any level of brown belt or red belt, and I wasn't one of them. So it's very, very rare that that happens, because you got to get a perfect score, and everybody on the panel has to approve it, so on and so forth. With a perfect score, moving up from red belt recommended to black belt recommended, Mr. Oliver. skipped a rank. He went from red belt recommended, skipped red belt beside it, and got all the way to black belt recommended. So that was a perfect score. And honestly, I marked you down as possible negative -0.5, and Master Praise overruled me and gave you a perfect score. So you got a perfect score on the panel. Promoted to black belt recommended, Mr. Caleb. Is that it? No. Oh, man. All right. So, we're about to do the black belt ceremony. And I want to explain it out before we actually do it so you know what's going on. First, everybody's going to be sitting crossed with their hands across like this. You're not going to move. You're going to be real quiet. You don't have to do it right now. I'm just showing you. But you're going to crisscross applesauce, and hands are going to be up. This is full command position. So when you become a master, your Junbis actually become this. It just switches us to which angle on the inside, which angle is out. That being said, when you see the ceremony, you're going to see Mr. Andrew light his candle off of my candle. That represents the passing of knowledge. The candle itself, or the flame itself, is the knowledge that's being passed on from instructor to student. The candle is just like any other representation. What does the candle do whenever it's lit? It sacrifices its body. So as an instructor, you sacrifice your training time to be able to teach. So you're not always training, you're now teaching. Anybody that teaches knows that you're always trying to keep up on things, but you're sacrificing your time to be able to pass that knowledge. So the candle itself represents the sacrifice of our time to be able to pass that knowledge on to your time. You'll also see him sign the scroll. You can only sign my scroll when you become a black belt. And it's very, very rare that people become black belts, because you can look how many people are getting a black belt this time. Yeah, one. And who knows how many people he started with. So it's very rare that it happens. And then you'll see the passing of the belt. At the very beginning of the ceremony, you'll hear 9 gongs. The 9 gongs represents the 9 color belts that you have, from white belt all the way through red belt. And then, well, black belt recommended, but that's still red belt form. So the nine levels of color belts. At the end, you'll hear the 9 gongs again. That represents the 9 different degrees of black belt. So you don't just become a black belt and then that's it. Like, you've learned everything. You become a first degree black belt. You have to wait a year before you're eligible to train, before you're eligible to test. But you have to train that entire year. And you have to do 2 midterms and so on and so forth. And every degree you are, you have to wait that many years before you're eligible to test again. So it takes a lot longer, and then there's other stipulations. But you'll hear the 9 gongs at the end representing the 9 black belts. And then I'll further explain some of the other representation that we're going to have after we do the little ceremony. So Ms. Andrew, can we sit up here for a second? Eternal flame.
Children of the ATA, listen. As I tell about the old times and the new dawn. In those unwritten years, thousands of lives ago, the first Susan also came to the mountain. His disciples and most loyal students followed his journey. He was a master of martial art. Susan's vision was that mortal life is short, yet he had so much to do and teach. Would his technique and tradition be lost as the morning mists? There were thousands of techniques and postures for the body in movement. There was a steel tempering of the heart that could change a man's way in life. He studied how these lessons could live beyond written words or twice-told tales of olden ways. As a master weaver looms five-spun thread, he wove thoughts across techniques in patterns of art with life. As his students learned the fabric of his art, they could see techniques crossed with spirit. The art would remain in spirit and force long after the weaver was dust. Disciples of Susan practiced these patterns woven to them by their master, and they, in turn, passed them to their juniors, generation after generation. Did that first master martial weaver realize he had wrought so well that his art would live millions of days? Did his spirit touch us as he wove those first patterns for hearts of future generations? For he is with us even today. The techniques are the same in spirit as when he taught them. The tree has grown, but holds the same roots. Other masters grafted their hearts into the great design. They added new life as parents in new generations add to the life of their family. And by adding, make it greater, not less. With dawn drawing light across the sky, I, Han Li, invite you, my disciples, students and family, to join me in a journey through our new day. Families need new generations to live. The spirit of Susan needs new enthusiasm and growth to be nourished in us. I am duty-bound by the mantle of mastership to